Okay, well, first of all, I want to start out by thanking the over 20,000 people that were here Saturday night. I haven't really had a chance to do that officially. Wow, they were loud. I'm not kidding you. Down there at times, it felt like we had 40,000 in this stadium again, and it sure was fun at that halftime, leaving our stadium with them chanting UTEP, UTEP. The players heard it. The players noticed it. I had Jeff, with the microphone in my ear, so no, I'm just kidding. But it was awesome. Thanks a lot to El Paso for being here and supporting your football team and football program in school. And I was very pleased that we played 4 quarters. We played 4 quarters of hard-nosed football. We wanted to take care of the football offensively. We felt like we needed to do that to win. And at 0 turnovers. We tackled much better than we have in the past. Limited our tackles to just a few missed tackles in this game. And that was great. They sure were right by recruiting a punt returner. He's a quality punt returner, and he showed it on that punt return for a touchdown, which was, they had the invisible penalty on. And I was proud to be a Miner Saturday night. Proud to be a Miner. Did not win the game on the scoreboard, but so that part we let slip through our fingers, but very proud of the way that our players got ready for the game, physically, but most importantly, mentally and emotionally and enthusiastically came to play and played with their heart. So they were ready to play in both the first half and the second half, and that says a lot about the character of this team. It was not an easy week for anybody in the program, and they had adversity and they overcame it in a huge way. And we need to continue to get better. This isn't the end of the season. We have games left, and so, but if we continue to play like this and get a little bit better, just a little bit better every week, then we're going to get in that win column. So let's just go back to this game, finish this game off with questions, and then we'll move on to what we're doing next. Questions about last week's game and Saturday night.
Status of Wadley?
He's going to be listed as or. We won't know his condition. I don't know his condition right now. He needs it to be he's going to have an x-ray. We need to analyze that and see how he's doing.
But a few more penalties than usual. What do you attribute that to?
Yeah, I don't know what usually is. I don't know what our penalty, but I was. But I know we can eliminate 4, and we want to eliminate the penalties before the ball is snapped, and the penalties after the ball is blown dead. We had 4 penalties. I want that to be 0 penalties. That's our goal. What happens in between the whistles and the snap, you can't control as much, Is that pass interference or not pass interference? Man, we broke on the ball great. We broke on the ball really well, knocked passes down, got to their quarterback, moved him around, hit him legally. He was a tired kid, I think, after the game, and we broke. I was standing next to the official on the sideline, and I said, "Man, was that a great breakup or what?" And he said, "That was perfect. That was perfect pass defense. So that's how I look at penalties. So eliminate those 4, and I would say we had a good day penalty-wise, but that's really sticks in my craw.
This team's got a lot of injuries, especially in the Rice game before go down for the season. Mets is on and off. Does this team, the way it is right now, from what you've seen just from 1 week, have enough talent to win a couple games the rest of the way?
Well, we plan on winning this weekend, I mean, that's our goal. And I think that we showed Saturday night that we can compete in this league. Yes, we can compete in this league. And Don wasn't the leading rusher this week, but we were definitely sad that we didn't have number 4 back there. But number 15 came in and played very well. So I'm not sure on him if he'll be back or not. But can't have one of your best players get hurt every game for the rest of the season. Then that's nicks you up pretty good. But everyone's pretty healthy otherwise than Q.
How goes the process? You continue to get used to everybody getting used to you.
Yeah, I probably know you guys better than I do the team, so I am glad that they have the names on the jerseys, and that helps.
Could you talk to the confidence of the football kicker?
Well, he kicked tremendously, kicked off, and he's capable of making those kicks, and didn't make them. So we're going to try to help him get better, just like the other players.
What was a Saturday like for you personally? It's the first time really coaching.
Oh, it was great, Steve.
You're on the sidelines coaching, yet you're kind of learning the players, the personnel, everything, while the game is transpiring.
Yeah, definitely. You're right. It was. What was it like for me Saturday night? I'm never nervous, but what am I anxious about? But that's part of being a coach, I think, is that excitement of the game and seeing the kids being excited, and really fun. And they were excited and they were ready to play, and it was really fun to be on the sidelines with them. I couldn't help as much as I would have liked to have helped, and I'll gradually help a little bit more as the season goes on, but I thought the communications was really good. We got the plays in and out, offensively and defensively, and on time. Players were ready to play the snap of the football. One point in that game when they were going no huddle would be a time, probably, if I had to do again, called a timeout, stopped the clock, got them over the sideline, gave them a rest, settled them down a little bit, and gone back in. But the other team's good. They're on scholarship too, and so 14 points or 15 points is. And we had that 2-point play coached up. We had guys where they were supposed to be. One man comes free, has a shot at him, and one of our missed tackles. And so I was talking to their coach this morning. I said, boy, it hurts to get beat by a trick play. I'm usually on the other end of that. And he knew it, too.
You've called your fair share of plays over the years. How's your relationship developing with Brian Nacken and Tom Mason? And how did it go Saturday? And what was your input throughout?
How'd it go with the coaches and the during the game as far as play selection, and it was excellent. I was listening to it. Half of the time I didn't know what it was, and you might have seen me lean over to one of the quarterbacks and say, "What's that play?" But because the terminology's different than what it was when I was here, and you have to catch up with that. And same with Tom. But in blitz situations or something. We went to prevent. He got out of that and threw a couple blitzes in there and stopped them and changed it up rather than just playing prevent defense, which you got to play a little bit of that. But I thought he did a real good job. He blitzed at times when he was supposed to and didn't at other times. And you know, everyone on that field played their hearts out, played as hard as they could.
Full week of you being in.
And let me say one thing about Brian Natkin, too. I thought Natty did the same thing. Made some really good calls and at appropriate times. And he's probably, I think it's going to be, could be a real great match between the two of us because he's going to do the conservative, right thing to do, and I'm going to do the crazy thing sometimes. So it's a nice balance. It's kind of like you and your wife. And look at the product. Look at the product.
Talking about that relationship and that, how much change, not so much change, but how much of an offensive imprint in terms of getting the passing game going this week, do you feel you have to step in and help Brian out that regard?
What type of changes will we make with the passing game and that connection with Brian is what you're asking, I guess. And how long will that take? It'll take a while, I think. You know, and that's really the reason that Bob Stull went this way with the interim coach, was so that the interim coach wouldn't have to be up here. He could be in there with the offense or the defense and coaching players and getting the game plan rather than doing the additional things that a head coach has to do. And it takes time to do those things, you know. So it's going to take away from the product that you see on the field, I think. And Sean was excellent, meticulous, organized. He had our program organized real well with all the schedules and all that kind of stuff. So,
Coach, you talked at the very start before we asked our questions about how you wanted to thank the fans. Although it was a 1-point loss, this game was a whole lot closer than a lot of people thought. The fans were actually pretty much into it the entire game. How much confidence does that give the players going in, not only to the next game, but the remainder of the season?
well, I heard the players after the game and during the game and on Sunday were really talking about that. Gosh, it was fun to have people cheering for us and like I said, really at halftime, I was more concerned to talk to Jeff than I was with the crowd. But it was so great, Coach. We were running off the field. It was so great. So they hear it. They're young, and it helps. And I think it got loud at times when they had the ball in route. And I think they were surprised. The coach was surprised at the amount of how loud it was in this stadium. So thanks again.
Mike, as far as the quarterback situation goes, Kugler was kind of reluctant to say, as far as the backup behind Metz, whether it was going to be Greenlee or Torres. You seem to be pretty confident in going with Greenlee last night. Why is that? What do you see from Greenlee versus Torres?
Well, I don't know where to start with all your questions, so let's take the first one.
Assuming Metz can't go, right? Sean kind of waffled between Greenlee and Torres, but you went with Greenlee, and he seemed to have a lot of success. So why are you confident in Greenlee over Torres?
Well, I think at this time in their careers, I felt like Zach fit the offense that we were going to run better than Mark. I think Mark is more of a shotgun, zone read, quick pass type, no huddle type quarterback. Quarterback run draw, run option, get the ball out quick to the receivers, that type of style of offense. rather than the offensive style that we have right now. I don't know if Mark has ever been in a huddle until he came here, or ever gone under center. I know my last year here when I was at UTEP, and that's just 5 years ago, we didn't have a quarterback on the team that had ever taken the ball underneath the center on our football team until they came to school here. Everyone was shotgun, and I taught them how to go underneath center. So that's really the reason. I think Greenlee fits concepts that we're working on right now. Just a little bit better than Mark. Mark's got ability, and he's going to be a real good player here before he graduates.
And then I want to have some fun with you with this one.
Okay.
When you left here in 2012, I don't think Snapchat and Instagram, those things, were as big. Has there been any adjustment for you as far as what the players do on their phones and in the locker room and that kind of stuff? Or talk about
Snapchat, and what were the other terms?
social media.
Social. I don't know anything about that. Everything's the same to me. I take that yellow notepad into the meeting room just like I do. No, get on your phone and get the message on it. I've got a phone. That's really old school.
What are some of the improvements you want to make? You guys had more fight this week. What are some of the things you saw? You have your first game under your belt. What are some of the things you're looking forward to for the next game?
Number one, we got to score more points. Got to score more points. Can't be shut out in the second half. Got to eliminate those penalties. Those penalties we talked about earlier. Need to continue to have the enthusiasm and spirit that we played with, and emotional intensity. And that's about it. Make a couple field goals if we do that. That would help.
Greenlee was supposed to be the guy who couldn't run. Were you a little surprised at how well he was moving?
Well, Greenlee was supposed to be the guy that couldn't run. I guess that's your guys' opinion. You saw him play more Brett than I did. You saw more practices than I did. So he took care of the ball really well Saturday night, didn't he? I mean, it wasn't there. He tucked it and ran with it, and then slid and protected the ball and had one. The snap was just a little fast and hit him here, and the back was a little off time on that fumble that botched the play on that one drive, that messed that one drive up. Other than that, he threw it away when he had to, threw a couple ones right in there we need to catch, and was on rhythm, under control. I'm sure he was excited to be in the game, but that position, the quarterback position, you don't see many guys hooping and hollering around there. They're usually pretty calm, cool, and collected, and he was. He was in rhythm, and he's got to play that way, and he can show that he can do it. So,
Coach, last one for me. In your opening press conference, you talked about how there's some wounds that still need to be mended.
My opening press conference was full of baloney, you know that. Why are you guys going back to what you said before? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Let me say the energy the players came out with was unlike anything we've seen this season. Does it matter to you whether it's because of you or in spite of you?
No, it's not because of me. It's because of the football players. It's all about the football team, not about me. I'm just the manager here. I'm not saying manager. I manage the program and helping the guys out to get better. We want these seniors to feel good about it and leave with a good feeling. They're the one. I didn't miss a tackle Saturday night myself. Didn't complete a pass either myself. So it's all about them. Remember that. It's all about the players. That's why I'm so glad that the community supported them the way they did. And you guys helped a lot too. Thanks. Last time we played down there, however, I think they had a huge rainstorm or something, or lightning strike, and so the crowd wasn't a factor. But they can be a factor, and they're right behind you. And they'll really enjoy playing. Our team will really enjoy playing there. Now they've had a quarterback change at Southern Miss also. They went with number 2, a good-looking, stout quarterback who played earlier in the season. He had the start against Kentucky, and then I don't know if he got hurt or whatever, but they made a change, and now they've changed to their original starter, number 2. I think their backup, the guy that was a starter, was injured a little bit, and this kid played well. Played really well. It's all about, offensively, I think it's all about number 2 and number 26, their tailback. It's really good. And they have an outstanding tall wide receiver who can really get hot if you allow him to get hot. He had 4 receptions, I think, last week, and didn't get a lot last year against us, but they're a good range. They do a lot of stuff on offense, a lot of different things, a lot of different formations. They'll throw it all over the place and run it all over the place. Defensively, man, they're going to be hard to block everybody because you never know where they're going to be. They run the radar where they stand up. They run all kinds of different defenses and are constantly blitzing and pressuring the quarterback, and they can run to prevent reverses and outside plays and stuff like that. So we have our work cut out for us offensively and defensively, and they'll try trick plays. They started the game last week with a trick play, so halfback pass or quarterback throwback, I can't remember what it was. But well coached. I know their head coach. I don't know him real well personally, but boy, he's worked his way up for that job. And he came from Alcorn, and that's not an easy place to win, and he won there big, and he coached with one of our coaches, with Donald, and he coached with my son Eric, actually, at Memphis. They all coached together, so he's a quality coach, and they got a quality staff. Good program. I mean, it's a neat place to be. It's a good, great experience for the players. And all they got to do is come out and the same enthusiasm, the same attitude, and just get a little bit better and change some of those things we talked about, and we'll have a chance.
Coach, one more off the beaten path here.
What I said in the
Yeah. You'll get used to it. That's kind of something like you. Aaron Jones, you had a part in seeing him, bringing him here. What you saw from him on Sunday.
Oh, well, I didn't get to see the game because I was watching our games and stuff. But El Paso can't be prouder of anybody like this. This was so neat for him. And Alvin was our most valuable player on defense and leading tackler too for us, and played his heart out Saturday night. So Mr. and Mrs. Jones have got to be just busting with pride. And I got lucky. I got enough to see them Friday night before our game. But God, wasn't that great? It just was he was so awesome for Green Bay. It was just wonderful. And I've been hinted that he might be able to come to one of our home games, so we'd be excited about that.
Any reason you wanted to stand today instead of sit?
What's that?
Any reason you wanted to stand today instead of sit?
You want to pull you from next week, Coach?
Was I doing that? Yeah, maybe so. Thanks again.